posted my first movie 13 days ago, and the response has been, there has been no response. But that's completely normal for a first video. Anyways, if I ever wanna get more than 100 views, then I can't just make a movie every 6 months and then post it, because then the algorithm is going to completely forget about the fact that I exist, and I'll never get more than 100 views. So I have absolutely no idea what am I gonna post for the next 6 months when I'm making my next movie, but that's a problem for future. For now, I'm just gonna yap about the first one for a few minutes and then call it a day. So, idea sounds amazing in theory, especially when said with fancy words. After finding out that she's mentally ill and has another personality which wants to murder people any chance it gets, the protagonist of this roughly half-an-hour movie locks herself up in her room, and her isolation and fear of what she's capable of slowly drives her insane, resulting in nightmares and hallucinations, while she meets someone online and becomes close friends with her. Is her online friend safe from this evil darkness inside of her? Is she even safe from herself? And which one of her sides is going to win this brutal war? Click on my movie to find out. That sounds so awesome, so amazing, so good, until you actually click on it and realize that it was filmed with a cheap-ass camera, and that the clips are approximately 3 pixels, and the only actor in it is a 14-year-old girl, who looks like a boy, who knows nothing about filmmaking, or acting, or how to make something that's interesting enough to not make 69% of people leave in the first 10 seconds. Anyways, there are 3 main characters. Eve, which we know nothing about except for the fact that she lives alone in a big house. She looks like she's 12 years old and she has a cat. And then there's her other personality, who's every time there's a chance to murder any type of living organism, she's gonna do it, that's her thing. And then there's Tammy, Eve's online friend, who's also most likely lonely and isolated. And her mental illness is delusional disorder. Fun fact, she originally wasn't supposed to be mentally ill. I just thought of the story 10 months ago. And 10 months ago I wore grandma glasses and I didn't believe in evolution. Yeah, I'm not proud of that. And then for a while I didn't care about the movie. And then like a month ago I looked at the script with my super blind and super atheist eyes. And I was like, damn, that doesn't make any fucking sense. After Eve sends Tammy this long voice message explaining her situation and that she's gonna kill herself tomorrow, Tammy stays up all night to make this small chip that you can sew in your arm, and then it can sense if you kill someone, and then it's gonna inject poison in your arms. And then so when the other personality knows that, then it's gonna stop killing people because it doesn't wanna die. That's the most unrealistic childish bullshit I ever heard. But then I realized that I can actually make it make sense, and it's actually gonna make the movie more interesting. When Tammy is first introduced, we see this request that she wrote, and I quote, "I just feel like I'm missing out on something that everybody else has." And then later on she says, "I don't have any other friends." She's extremely lonely, she has nobody other than Eve, and so it would make sense that why she would get so attached to her after like 1 hour. Same goes for Eve. We also see in her request that she designs mechanical stuff at home as a light hobby. So there's absolutely no way that she could make a complex device like that. And even if she would be able to get her hands on deadly poison, then it would still be extremely dangerous and completely unstable. And so that's where the delusional disorder comes in, because she wholeheartedly believes that she's doing the right thing and that the chip will function perfectly, which is obviously not true. What about Eve? Well, she's just kinda dumb. She's dumb. There's nowhere else. But the reason why she blindly follows Tammy's instructions could also be because she really doesn't want to die. Like, even though her life is basically a nightmare, she still wants to live. And so when this option comes up that she could stay alive, she immediately takes it without thinking and convinces herself that it's gonna work, to the point where she actually believes it. Funny thing is, I actually wasn't thinking about any of this 10 months ago. I was just like, well, it's unrealistic because it's a fantasy movie. Shut the fuck up, evolution denying grandma glasses. Fantasy movies are good because they make sense and they have logic in them. And the random teenage girl being able to make that. It's not cool and it's not different and it's not creative. It just means that your writing sucks. So I saved the movie by putting this analogy in the other personality's mouth at the very end. Roll the clip. Do you actually believe that a lonely, delusional, mentally ill teenage girl can make a device so complex that it would take months to get made in a professional lab? Or did your brain just choose to block out that information because you desperately wanted it to be true that you can live a normal life? So with saying that, she pulls it back to reality, who realizes that there's no way to fix her situation and shoots herself. And then it turns out that the other personality wasn't really another personality, it was some kind of evil entity or demon. And that's why she didn't get diagnosed with the sickness, which is a very long and complicated name. Dissociative identity disorder. And that's why the doctor didn't take her seriously and treated her like a clown. So the evil entity, using her dead body, covers up the gunshot wound with a hat. Amazing cover, I know. And then goes to get Emmy. Everyone dies except her, the credits roll, movie's over. The downside is that if you don't watch the movie until the very end, then you just think, well, this is some very bad and unrealistic writing. Or why does her shirt change multiple times a day? Or why does she say sorry for calling you so late and then the sun proceeds to aggressively shine on her? There are a shit tons of mistakes, and I'm not gonna list up all of them because nobody cares. The point is, I'm 14, and even if it sucks, I'm proud of it because for once in my life, I had an idea, and I actually went through with it, and finished it, even if it was really fucking hard. And it's gonna take me shit tons of years to actually make something good. And that's only if I put a shit tons of work into getting better. If you're still here, which you most likely aren't because I only made this thing to fit the algorithm, then you're awesome, and I can't think of an outro that wouldn't cringe me out. Like and press the like button. Don't forget to comment. I can't do this, I'm sorry.